Good morning, everybody. It's me, Timothy. How are ya? I just wanted to sit down and film with you guys today. I wanted to do a dramatic look. I was thinking of using the color blue today since it is the month of January. I haven't really done a blue look. I thought, why not? We could just sit down, film together, and I'd show you guys what I can come up with. We'll be using the BH Cosmetics palette, and then we'll also be using the James Charles palette. And just like the last video, I do want to start this video off with a positive message. So the positive message of the day is going to be proud of who you are and not ashamed of how someone else sees you. I feel like that message is very powerful and very inspiring. It just really struck something soft in my heart. So I thought I'd share it with you guys. Alright, now if you want to see me go from a tired bitch to this, then keep on watching. So as you guys can tell, I already started off with my eyelid primed. I used the Makeup Revolution concealer in shade C7. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with the James Charles palette. I'm going to go ahead and just dip into the shade right here. This is the brightest blue in the palette. And I'm going to go in with a really small brush. And then once I have the blue pigment on the brush, I'm going to go ahead and just place the blue right into the crease of my eye. And right now what I'm doing is I'm kind of just drawing out the shape that I want. Now just with back and forth motions, I'm lightly sweeping that blue back and forth. Don't worry about the blend so much right now, just make sure you pat that blue color on. And I'm not tapping off because this blue is a pressed pigment, so it works better when you just go in straight in with the pigment on the brush. And now I'm just bringing the blue inwards, but not all the way down to the corner of my eye. Now with just light sweeping motions, I'm going to blend that blue outwards. This is the Morphe M411, and I'm just taking this brush, I'm going to flick the brush upwards where the hard lines are. So once you're happy with the blend, it's time to go in with your light color. We're going to be dipping into this color right here, and we're just going to apply this color right at the edges of that blue on the top. This is the Morphe M506, and I'm just going to be using this brush because it is smaller and precise, and it's going to help me blend out that blue upwards, but also helping me control the brown so that way it doesn't exactly touch my brow. I'm just blending the blue and the brown shade kind of together. I like to just use the sides of the brush, not the tip of the brush, and just kind of sweep back and forth like this. Now I'm just going to go in with the larger tapered brush that we began with to add a little bit more blue, and then we're going to move in with next color. So you should have something like this. And now that we've dipped into the black shade in the James Charles palette, I'm going to lightly pack the black onto my lid, right into the outer V of my eye. And now I'm just bringing that black beneath the crease, and I'm just going to define the crease a little bit more with that black. I'm just using light back and forth swipes to kind of drag that black down into the inner corner. And I'm gonna just tap on the edges of the black with the pencil brush that we were using in the beginning.
Alright, so as you guys can tell, I am just blending out that harsh line.
Alright, so I am gonna bring the black a little bit in more, and I'm gonna go in with the smaller pencil brush that I was using for the blue color in the beginning of the video to kind of be more precise on where I put that black color. Hopefully it will darken it, who knows. Alright, now we're just gonna blend that line out. So I'm not really happy with the blend. I'm gonna go in with the black fluffy brush that we were using to apply the black in the beginning. And I'm just gonna blend that line out. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our little tray here. I'm going to apply some of the Makeup Revolution C7 concealer. And now with my small flat brush, I'm going to dip into the concealer. So I'm just pressing the brush onto my lid and stamping the pigment and stamping the wet concealer on. Okay, and then every time I dip back into the concealer, I just wipe off that like gross color that's on the concealer brush, just so that way I don't mix the colors with my concealer and then spread that color all over my lid.
Alright, and I'm pretty much just sharpening up the line with my small brush. If you guys feel like it's not working that well or you don't really have a sharp line, just dip that brush back into the concealer and use the tip of the brush to kind of make the line.
So you should have something like this. And just to get rid of like those lines and stuff, just tap on the edges so that way you can kind of blur those lines out. So while the concealer is still wet, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the BH Cosmetics palette. This is the Glam Reflections palette, and I'm going to go ahead and dip into the gold shade here. And I'm going to place this in the beginning part of my cut crease. I'm using a Morphe MB19 brush. It looks like this. And I already dipped into the pigment, sorry. And I'm just going to tap the gold pigment into the corner, but since this has a nice edge, I can keep it in the lines. But don't get it all over the lid, just try and keep it towards the top of the cut crease.
And as you pat the gold shimmer onto the lid, just kind of pat and drag the color down, but try and keep the gold to the top as high as you can.
So you should have something like this so far. Don't worry about the glitter getting outside of the lines right now because we can clean that up in a sec. Just try and worry about getting that gold in there as pigmented as possible. And now we're dipping back into the James Charles palette, and we're actually going to go and use this more of a like sapphire blue right here. And we're going to place this right next to the gold on the inner part of the lid. This blue is really pretty. It almost reminds me of the Kim Kardashian West and Mario collab palette. And now on a small angled brush like this is the Morphe MB32. We're going to smoke out the lower lash line with the black and James Charles palette just to pull everything together. And just stroke in the black color. And I'm not taking the black all the way in, I'm kind of just taking it into where the blue stops. Alright, and you see that harsh line right here? We're going to take that same brush that we were using to blend the black into the crease and just blend that black into the blue and the gold. Now I'm going to just kind of blend out this blue a little bit more. Dip right into that blue shade, tap off, and then use whatever excess color stick to the brush and kind of just sweep upwards lightly. Alright, and if you ever just feel like you have a really harsh line and you can't get rid of it, go in with a nice, clean, fluffy brush. This is the MB23, and just kind of go along the harsh edge and just blend that out. There we go. So now that you have the eye blended to your liking, time to move on to lashes. So now that we almost have this eye complete, I wasn't really gonna do eyeliner today, but since the black didn't go as black, we definitely do need eyeliner. So I'm gonna show you guys how I get my perfect Instagram wing. So what I use for my eyeliner is usually I use like a felt tip liner pen from Beauty Bakery or Pat McGrath. However, my felt tip liners are out, so today I'm going to be using the NYX Gel liner. This is the gel pot liner from NYX. It's the liner and smudger. And this one works almost just as good. The only difference is that you have to use a brush with it. I'm going to go in with the Morphe M165 brush. It's a flat angled brush. I'm just going to use my tape as a guide, and what I do at first is I just kind of stamp it on. Alright, and now with the angled brush, I'm going to just stamp that right across the tape line and drag down. Okay, and now I'm just angling the brush so that way I can do a wing. Alright, I know it looks really messy at first, but now we're just going to remove the tape. And there you go. Your perfect Instagram wing. When I curl my lashes, I try and get as close to my lash line as possible. Alright, for falsies today we're going to be using the LillyLashes. These are in style San Diego. Now my trick for lashes is I use a tool, this is from Ulta, and I pinch the outer edge of the lashes, so that way I have the inner corner free, and I can just apply it like this. Alright, and then I normally give the lashes about 15 to 20 seconds to dry down before I apply. So while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and just curl my lashes one more time. And now I'm tipping the lashes upside down like this, so the lashes are pointing up and the band is pointing down. And now I'm just going to place the inner corner first. And then I'm going to work the outer corner in. Alright, so your lashes should be like that. So now that we have one eye complete, I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and then I'll be right back. While I'm back, here's both eyes complete. Now, I thought for the face we'd switch it up a little bit. I actually want to have like a really nice, like dewy skin finish. So for primer today, we're going to be using the Primed Pore-less by Too Faced. This is more of like a silica-based primer. I like to use this primer just because it's more of like a pore filling primer, and since we're going in with a more of like a glowy primer after this, I want to make sure that all of my pores are kind of, I guess, filled in with this product before they get filled in with like glittery products. Okay, well, I'm going in with my Cover FX enhancer drops. There's like hardly anything left, so I'm kind of just like wiping what's left onto my cheeks. I'm about to look like a troll just shit glitter on me right now. Alright, so now that the product has had time to dry down, I'm going to go ahead and go in with my foundation. I'm using the MAC NC40, and I'm just going to apply it with my little spatula. I think I really like the MAC foundation just because you don't really need too much, and it gives you a really good amount of coverage. Alright, and as you guys know, I'm going to go in with the Morphe M411. I'm just going to stipple that into the face.
And as I stipple the foundation into my face, I'm pretty much just making sure the product is spread evenly throughout my face, and I'm covering all areas.
And notice when I get around the eyebrows, I do use the sides of the brush just to blend as close as possible without getting as much product on my brows. A lot of people actually get shocked when they see that I'm using a Morphe brush for my foundation, but I don't know why. Morphe has good quality products. I mean, I haven't tried their foundation and I'm not really gonna, just because I do have really, really dry skin. And if Jeffree Star says it's not for dry skin bitches, then I'm listening to Jeffree Star and it's not for me. Like, sorry bitch, clocked out, not for me. Never fucking heard of that bitch. Morphe foundation who? Do you guys like my Jeffree Star highlighter? This is in shade Regina George. Love that bitch. If you're a Mean Girls fan, comment below, bitch. So now that your foundation has been applied and you are blended to fill, I like to go in with a sponge. This is a dampened sponge, no water is coming out of it. And I just kind of like to go over my foundation. Do you guys see the difference? Like, literally. It turned my foundation face into almost like the skin. Now that our foundation has been applied, I'm going to go ahead and just warm up the Fenty Match Stick right here on my arm. And now I'm just going to go in with this angled brush. This is the brush that I use normally for like nose contour. And just because I'm going to slay today at work, I want to make sure that my contour is ready to cut a bitch. I kind of use the hairline right here, where my hair ends, and that's where I want to start my contour. And I'm just stippling the contour into the face. And now I'm brushing upwards. I'm grabbing my Morphe E8 brush and I'm just blending this out. Alright, and then as you guys know, I have a pretty large forehead, so we're just gonna tame that bitch and we're gonna contour her. Like, Fivehead, who is she? We don't know her today. Forehead? Oh yeah, we definitely know that bitch. We definitely knows her. And with this brush, I can get pretty close to my hairline, so it makes things a lot easier.
And just make sure when you are applying the contour that you are actually blending it out, because you definitely do not want any harsh contour lines going across your forehead or going across your cheek.
For the nose contour, I'm not dipping back into the matchstick just because the brush pretty much has enough product already to give me a nice amount of contour for the nose. But if I do need more product, I'm going to go ahead and just grab some off of my arm.
I use my eyebrows to kind of help me figure out where I want to contour my nose. I use the beginning parts of my eyebrows to kind of start the contour shape.
For concealer today, this shouldn't be a surprise. We're going to go in with the Tarte Shape Tape in shade Medium. Alright, so now that the under eyes have been set, I'm going to go ahead and just conceal the rest of my face. I'm coming out, I'm gonna take your man, 'cause I know I can. Ayy! Had to drop some bars for you guys. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and powder the rest of my face. I know this looks really crazy right now, but you guys know, it always works out in the end. Now that we are all powdery, like a powdery donut, we are gonna go ahead and dust this powder off. Do you guys still see that like shine, almost like an inner glow? I know. You're welcome. And that one's for you, J Towel. Alright, and now that we've finished up with our powder, we're gonna go ahead and move into, that's right, you guessed it, the Cocoa Powder Contour Palette by Too Faced. And we're just gonna dip into that bottom shade here. It's dark brown. Give it a little swirl. And I'm going to go ahead and just apply this to my cheeks. I know it looks like I still am very contoured, but this just kind of warms up the face a little bit. I'm going to be using my favorite blush. This is the Kylie blush in X-Rated. This is like literally my favorite tone of blush. And I'm just stamping the blush into my face, pretty much like what I do with the rest of my products. And I even take the blush up here on my forehead because like I said, when you just blend it in with that contour, it just warms up your face so nice. But we ain't done yet, bitches. We just ain't done yet. And while my lips are being prepped, we're gonna go ahead and just finish off the eyes. So as you can see, I'm just lightly drawing in hair-like strokes. And I'm not bringing it all the way to the front. I'm kind of just stopping right here. Now for the underneath part though, I am gonna bring it in a little bit closer. And just so you don't have that harsh line, make sure you do blend that line out. I like to use the Anastasia brow pencil just because it does give you more of a natural finish, but it does also give you like that beautiful Instagram brow that everyone loves. Alright, so those are both brows complete. I'm using the NYX retractable eyeliner in black. So now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and just smudge the under eyes with the blue. To smudge the under eyes, I'm going to be using the MB23, it looks like, MB23 or MB27. And I'm just going to dip right into that blue shade that we used for the beginning. Just like that. Now that the eyes are pretty much complete, I'm going to go ahead and just add some bottom mascara, and then we're going to move on to the lips. And for the bottom mascara, I'm just going to be using the Bad Gal Bang, as I did for the top. Alright, so I already applied chapstick earlier. I'm just going to go in with my NYX brown lip liner. And we're just gonna outline her lips. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, and I'm gonna be using the shade Posh Spice. I'm just gonna blend this brown lip liner in a little bit with my finger. Alright, now we're done. Just kidding, we're not done. That's my ombre lip, bitches. Now I know you hoes didn't think this was over. We forgot our highlight, duh. Today we're going to be dipping into the Jeffree Star 24K highlighting palette, and I think I'm going to go for, we're definitely going to use this gold shade right here. It's called Liberace. Okay, and I haven't dipped back in yet. I'm just going to use whatever's left to kind of give my brow bone a nice highlight over here. A nice highlight over here. And then we can't forget my signature highlight right here. And just because I don't feel like I'm blinding enough, I'm going to dip into Sarcophagus. And we're going to really get shit poppin' now. I mean, this was cute. This was like a moment, but subtle glow? We don't know that, bitch. Alright guys, well, this is the final look. I hope you guys like it. If you do like this look, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video and subscribe to my channel before you go, ho. Don't forget, okay? We are almost 100 subscribers strong, and this is my first week, so I'm really happy. I know it may not seem like a huge milestone, but honestly, 100 subscribers, like, bitch, I'm fucking killing it. Thank you guys for tuning in today, and I will catch you hoes on the next one. Bye. And I do have my sunglasses prepared today, bitches.